been a very long time. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to Star Technology. This is episode 7. Before we start things off, I have a data stick and an elite scanner right here with 6 different IV components. And first thing on the list is to analyze them. I forgot my hammer. Alright, so we have assembly line construction data for an LUV electric motor. So if we go back here, I have an assembly line. This actually took a very long time to make. Let me just put this in here first. Because assembly line control casings, if you're wondering, take 2 different robot arms, and then this takes an emitter, a motor, and a IV sensor, all of which take a lot of tungsten steel. So I've been having to wait a long time for a lot of tungsten to appear. But yeah, can you tell how long I've been running this? It's crazy. Anyways, let's finish filling up the data access hatch, and I'll show you all of the stuff I've set up. I told you I would finish this setup, and I did. Now, the top is Blaze, then Basals, Blitz, and Blizz. All in this order. From here, then these 3 down. We obviously have the greenhouse of the essence burners here. Then the macerators. And then we have the liquids. Then we have the chargers. Then finally we have the forming press. It's filled with nether sauce. Also, by the way, I've also made full quark tech armor, as you can very well see here. So yeah, I can run faster, I don't burn and freeze, and I have permanent night vision. Underwater and footbar is almost completely useless, and the only reason why the jet boots is because of this recipe, which requires ZPM, some stuff I can't get, and that's pretty much it. By the way, I have this fully finished now. I've also inputted a lot of the recipes inside except for this, which requires an IV polarizer. So I will have to make a polarizer right now. It's fine. I've also had something I've kept back for a very long time, which are parallel hatches. These. Yeah, I've kept this for quite a bit for this video because, well, I'll explain the goal later. So now, if I order a parallel control hatch, it should be able to run in the background. And yeah, we'll wait for this to finish. Right, that is 1 parallel control hatch. And that is the mechanics section complete. With this small little thing about parallelization. Now you see, I can increase the parallels on the control hatch, but I'll show it in action when I use it with the electromagnetic separator. Yes indeed, this is the first time we will be making multi-blocks. And that, my friends, is the goal of this video. The circuit assembling factory and the assembling factory, which I have carved out. If you've seen last video, here, assembling factory is here, and then the large cutting saw is here, large circuit assembling factory, and if I remember correctly, these are 2 large engraving lasers. Let's get to work. I apologize for building the stuff off camera, but first things first, the large polarizer is built. I have it actually set to polarizer. This, I have it max at 4, and the auto-maintenance hatch as per always. This required 42 non-conducting casings, as well as 12 electrolytic cells. Now, it's one item in, one item out, so the routing is simple. And I'm at IV, so this can work. Anyways, time to dump all my polarizer patterns in here. I'll do it off camera because my CPU can't handle the encoding. There we go. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. When we get to the step of samarium, obviously. It works, okay. I still need my hammer. And I forgot that for the assembly line too, so just preemptively. I had to troubleshoot something in the assembly line. Turns out it doesn't really like it when you when you jam program circuits into it. Oh well. But at least I know that the Tom setup here works perfectly well. Moving on, we have our electric motor. And if we can get an electric motor, then we can do everything else. I seem to have run in some issue. I need styrene butadiene rubber. I need the passive this. Jeez. That should be 1 bucket of styrene butadiene rubber. That's instantly achieved. I need a bucket. That's styrene butadiene. Alright, let's go through the new setup that I have for all of these, which I have conveniently placed here. Ignore the mega pattern provider and ignore this, I haven't set up stuff yet. Now the first way I get heavy oil, I actually have to go back here and run all the way here. Pyrolyzed ovens on circuit 3 can actually give you heavy oil, but they also give ashes as a byproduct, so yeah. I've been dumping them here. Let's start. So we have heavy oil in a Fortol distillation tower, creating sulfuric versions of heavy fuel, light fuel, naphtha, and refinery gas. Then they all react with hydrogen to give the hydrogen sulfide, which then gives me gas, naphtha, light fuel, and heavy fuel. Now, if you read some petrochem in other series, you will see the byproducts, but I'll just skim through them here. I am using the lightly hydrocracked heavy fuel, or is it severely? It's, yeah, I'm using severely hydrocracked heavy fuel for this first one. Then in my severely hydrocracked light fuel, I get naphtha, octane, butane, propane, ethane, and methane. Then this is the refinery gas step. I am going for, if I remember correctly, severely steam cracked gas, but this is lightly steam cracked naphtha, which if you pull here, 11 products. It's petrochem in a nutshell. So yeah, now I can make styrene butadiene, which also means I can make motors, or conveyor belts actually. So let me make 2 LEV conveyor modules. I should have all the ingredients. Time to craft. It's been a very long time since I've ever recorded, so let me catch you up to speed with literally everything I've done. 8 ABSs stacked on top of one another. It was a pretty massive haul actually. I had to do 36 times 4 of them, which if I can do quick math is 144 coil blocks. That took a very long time. The heat vents, 72 of them. This one, the high temperature smelting casings, I remember I had to do 188. Then I shed the 4 muffler hatches in the middle. Then the 8 ABSs. You have to rotate these to make this entire thing register, but other than that, it's straightforward. And 1 ME input hatch here with the 7 fluids, and there's some others. And the back there is another one with all of them. They each supply to 4 ABSs, and I've run out of fluorine. Hold on, let me batch craft fluorine. Alright, it should stock this for a while. Here is where the parallels start in. There's a guide on the Star Technology Discord, thank you by the way, pull up the thread, of ABS parallel. So basically, you start with a toggle bus, which basically allows you to cut off this part from this part so long as it is unpowered, which is why I have a level emitter here. But first, this bus stores a circuit 12 and the ingredients I want to put in. Now, if there are more than 2 items, which is what the level emitter here is, it switches on, or 2 or more. Then the toggle bus activates, you can send it straight in here, which... Hold on, I need to go in there somehow. This one connects to this here, which is supplied by the energy system over there. Now, these two are the output hatches, which connect to this structure here. Now this structure is over here, right? Oh my god. It sends both of them up here into the quadruple impan hatch through storage bus, obviously, and then out comes the items. I, for whatever reason, decided to, sorry. I did intentionally put a dual output hatch because I have access to it now, and it also spits out fluids in the form of the heating one, which is liquid helium. There's another one. It's, if I remember correctly, supercritical. Hold on, helium 3. Yeah, super state helium 3, but you can't get that because it's through an unobtainable thing that might come next update, so I'll inform you when it happens. Secondly, my debris line is done. So first, we have chlorine trifluoride being made. Oh, I have chlorine trifluoride being made here. It's 1 bucket each. Can you stop jittering? With debris dust here, it's stocking up because I have no limits on this. Into the components you see here. 2 purified debris dust, titanium trifluoride dust because that's effectively what it comes out to, and a 35% chance for 2 small piles of purified debris. It says 1, I don't know why. Then I split it into 4 different sections. This has the small pile of purified debris dust. This has titanium trifluoride. This houses the sulfur dichloride that comes out here, which gives me free sulfur, which I have a void upgrade on, and the purified debris to be recycled back in. Now the titanium trifluoride goes in here and reacts with this and hydrogen. When the cycle ends, I'll show you. It spits out a hot titanium after 3 seconds, it goes in here, and this is a truly infinite and quick source of titanium. So rutile is somewhat inferior at this point. Then the hydrofluoric acid goes up here, and it's recycled back to fluorine there, and hydrogen all the way down here. So yeah, that's the entire debris line. It's very compact and it makes me infinite debris. What else can I say? Finally, I've made a large extraction machine. This can double as an extractor and a canner, so that's that. And for parallels, I've set this up already for extractor recipes. Oh wait, I haven't yet. Hold on, let me do so. I think next I might make the large arc furnace, probably around here somewhere. I'll get back to you when I do finish it. So we have the inside coil blocks. This one's a new thing. You don't really make this a lot, it's mainly for multi-blocks. So, I have my high temperature smelting casings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that's left is the energy hatch. And now it has power. I decided to put the power up here this time. I have to be really careful because stuff. I finished the large chemical bath. This one has 2 modes, and ore washer is paired along with it, which is why you need an ore washer, not a chemical bath, to create this. But I have all the watertight casings here, so let's get to it. You guys will see a time lapse, but for me it's a bit of painful building. Oh wait, maybe I place it sideways. Yeah, that would look better. Okay, time to continue. You're kidding, I'm 2 off. Hold on. It's fine, I can make 2 more. It's probably fast. There we go. That should be the multi-block done. 4 recipes in parallel, and I have the input and output here. I'm going to have to hook it off camera, so bear with me. There's everything in the extended pattern provider for the large chemical bath. Is it weird that I'm doing this, even though I only have 6 recipes for the large chemical bath? Anyways, time to hook this up to power. ZPM tier large chemical bath. This is going to drain a lot, but the elite parallel control hatch will just make this as fast as we can and as efficient as we can. Also, oh yeah, by the way, I have a schematic cannon here. I have set recipes for a new assembly line in here, so it's time to build it. It is my first time using the schematic cannon, so I apologize if I'm checking the materials because nice. It unfortunately does not preserve block states, neither does it preserve this, but it's fine, I can just set it up again. Sweet. That's everything for our second assembly line. Well, save for the redstone link. I'll set that up, and I'll come back to you when I'm done. Alright, the hookup was pretty easy. I just had to check that this one was light grey, because, as you can see here, there are some inventory trims, and if I look below, we have these rows of smart cables, just all pre-placed. There are 8 of them in total. Unfortunately, I had to put a controller here to manage 8 assembly lines. But here it is. I just have forgotten to set some of the frequencies apparently. It's fine though, I can set them later. I have the ingredients. I have this on the schematic cannon. Let's start. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Let's do some more. It's fine, I'll just add this myself. That's the double large engraving laser. Now I can stuff every single lens in here, and I can just start everything from here. Alright, I have finished everything here. It's highlighted with different lenses, so that's it. And so far, this is the only one of 2 recipes. This is the reason why I use mega pattern providers. The only reason why I'm using this and not regular ones is because they are apparently twice as fast. And it doesn't do much, but I like the placebo effect. Anyways, the next multi-block, the large cutting saw. post-editing because I forgot to, I forgot to record again, probably because I think I was in a library at the time. Anyway, Void Excavator controller. It's just a parallel void extractor controller and has some interesting materials like the HSSG coil blocks and the sheer 11 block height of the tungsten steel frame. Anyways. Oh my god, please hold for a bit. Please. I beg of you. No shot, okay. So I'll order up this first. I need exactly 186 Nakoda coil blocks, and then I will explain the Nakoda. There it is. So this is one of the biggest multi-blocks you will ever see. If I am correct, this spans 9 by 9 by 11, I think, no, 12 blocks. And it produces Nakoda, simple as. You break into nether star shards down here, and then this processes them into Nakoda and the tiny piles of nether star dust. I have here, I have here a machine controller, which is controlled by a level emitter, set to 32,000 Nakoda dust. Obviously this cycle needs a bit of coolant, so I have here a vacuum freezer with some PCB coolant here. Oh my god, it's fine. I recorded it, I might lay over. I've replaced the stuff with the quarter now. And I can also do so for the ABS because I made just enough. I wanted to use building gadgets, but they're not that nice, so I guess I can do it by hand again. I'll come back when I finish this. Alright, in the spare time I have, I've created a data bank which houses 4 data access hatches. Because in the future I'm going to need more than 9. The unfortunate thing is, right, in order to replace the data access hatch, you need one computation, a data reception hatch, not computation. But they can only take 1. Finally, we have our 256 Nakoda doped monocrystalline silicon booms. What are we going to do with that? But first, I have my photovoltaic cell, but I have to procrastinate again because quantum processors. I've accidentally made some while making these energy hatches, so I have to make them again. First, a stack of quantum processors, which are EV tier. Nice. Quantum processors, now quantum processor assemblies. Oh my god. Alright, we have it now. That should be the quantum processor assemblies. Next, the supercomputer. Alright, I've solved something and I can empty everything. Okay, now that that's done, a stack of ZPM tier circuits. That is a stack of ZPM quantum processor mainframes. And you know what the first thing I'm going to do with them is? Oh, sorry, the mic. Shit, I don't have enough iridium. Alright, I have to wait for the plat line, I guess. There's the automation age. Anyways, I have my solar panels. It is time to place all the solar panels. I think I'll only place 81 first, because I don't need that much right now. Like, look at this. Boom. 1 mil instantly. Power in should be about 10 million FE per tick now. I think, yeah, should be. Okay. Alright, this is pretty much the last time I will show you my passive systems for the second last time until I get my desired goal. But yeah, my passive uses way too many machines. It's actually starting to lag out, plus the extensive use of laser IO everywhere. So I'm just gonna explain it while highlighting everything in post. Hopefully I'm not too lazy to do that. Alright, let's start. On the top right, there is hydrofluoric acid. Then below, we make fluoroantimonic acid with antimony trifluoride. I will never run out of antimony trifluoride because the system perfectly replenishes it. It's just funny that we're making, for good trivia, one of, if not the most corrosive acids in the entire world to process nakoda. This is the nakoda line, by the way. Below, we process nakoda into enriched nakoda and the quadria, as you can see from these two. Use centrifuge, mix to acidify it with sulfuric acid, which is also recycled. I just never bothered to recycle the sulfur in another chem reactor, but it's fine. And then use centrifuge again to get some waste. Now, the two distillation towers you see right in front of you are for enriched nakoda waste and the quadria waste respectively, all of which can be recycled. And the two chests you see on the sides there are all for sulfate residue. This is percentage chance, so I'm just gonna store them and call it a day. They're not that useful. It's gallium and I think boron, but other than that, that's pretty much it. The unused electric blast furnace and the vacuum freezer you saw just now are for the quadria and nakoda processing respectively. Why don't I do both of them at once? Because number one, I want to wall shatter both of them, and number 2, the Quadria requires trinium. That's unfortunate. But finally, we have the trinium processing, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen. I just realized it was the wrong aspect ratio. Hold on. I'll finish this and then I'll revert to the original. The trinium is being processed by zinc sulfate, with the zinc catalyst recycled by an electrolyzer at the back, and with a vacuum freezer we can get our trinium you can see over there. Oh, sorry, black spot. It's been a very long time, and unfortunately the next course of action is a very time-consuming one. Fusion. I have set all the recipes for them, and hopefully this will be enough. I will go through the first one. I will leave this here, and I'll come back when it's finished. Alright, Fusion Reactor Computer Mark 1, the first of many. If I place it down, you will see the abhorrent space requirement for this thing. I guess I might need a temporary spot for it, but I guess I can just place it here, and it'll be fine. Like, dude, I can't place it here, I have so many things already. I'll find a way. Oops. Okay. Alright. I've taken so long that there's actually a new update for Star Technology. I am currently on Eta Hotfix 1, and it brings about massive changes. First of all, as you can see from the quest line, Post Abydos is complete, but we'll get to that in quite a bit. With that, it adds various things that are very interesting, known as Dream Links. So far, it's only up to the Waneric array, but it's fine, I won't get there. This is a UHV recipe, requiring UEV circuits, so I'm not there yet. Anyways, the next major change... AE2, wait, what? I can't get these, what? Well, at least I know these exist. Anyways, there are AE2 changes, and I will go through all of them right now. There are invalid patterns here. Let me see what invalid patterns we have. It's like the ritual you go through with every single update. You find patterns that are broken and you fix them. As you can tell, and as I will show you later, they have Gregified AE2. Alright, time to start everything from the ground up with this expanded AE2 section. I have completed some of them, so let's start with Sky Steel. Mixer recipe, not too bad. Sky Steel Dust. Now the Skystone alloys. Liquid Skystone and Gold. Huh? New extractor recipe, okay. Diamond Skystone alloy. Stone alloy ingots. Cubernickel, thank you. Although I think that's mainly for people who are just starting AE2, so I guess it is what it is. Same for this. Wait, no, there's Certus Quartz Skystone alloy. And then you use it in... Yeah, do you ever need this? Cards. Okay, then I'll get it then. It's a recipe. You have got to be kidding me. These were using IV. What do you mean? You used to craft them with an interface and an IV circuit. Now the two main liquids, the difficult ones anyway. The molten netherite gold skystone alloy. Circuit 13. I will put this first. This is 9, am I correct? 7, okay. So netherite gold skystone alloy ingots. Then this is also 7 ingots. Also circuit 13. These are all the patterns for the different skystone alloys. Let me put them in real quick and then I'll come back to you. Has silicon changed? It has not. Okay. But these have changed. And you know that I will be using the Naquada doped chips. Let's get these first. Oh. Have chip recipes changed? They haven't, they've just been adding new recipes. Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, just out of curiosity. Oh, sorry. They haven't changed. Okay. They have changed indeed. Now we need something called fluid steel. And luckily I can make it in an ABS with another circuit 3 recipe. Circuit 13, sorry. It wants me to get fluid steel, I reckon. Yes. Heck it, I'll just get... Got it. There we go. That's all this complete. And now we have a different blank pattern. Let's get to work. Pattern provider has a different recipe. Also, formation cores will have a better recipe, but I need to get the ME assembler first. Speaking of which, let's get it right now. The basic one anyway. And that is a circuit assembler. ME assembler, sorry. This is easy to automate. Thank you. Thank you, game devs. I will trash this now. Let's strike a deal, alright? I'll finish the AE2 pattern recipes in a montage, and then I'll come back to you and finish all the quests in one go. Now that I have pretty much sorted AE2, now we can do this. This is a new item, the Redstone Variadic Interface. Not sure how to use this, but I'll definitely have a fun time, trust me. All I can wait for is for all the trinium to come around so I can get European. I guess I'll come back, grab all the trinium I need, and see you when I get back. Formed the fusion reactor Mark 1. Yeah. So you see 28.8 seconds here. It says it uses LUV, right? But here it says UV. This is lying to you because fusion reactors are, to simply put it, pretty self-explanatory. All they do is they follow the energy tier, voltage tier of the lowest energy hatch. That's why it's at LUV. I'll let this stockpile for a little bit, and I'll come back to maybe 36 buckets of Europium. I don't want to wait that long. I'll be back. Okay. Hopefully I am back. I have upgraded the Cortex. It's pretty long-winded, so I won't go into it, but yeah. The suit is great. I can just hover and... oh, never mind. Anyways, ZPM assembler time. Oh, whoops. I need to do it here. After a bit, we have our ZPM circuit assembler. Time for the energy converter, of which I have prepped 42 dragon steel ingots. Oh, I'm still missing some trinia. Alright, how about... I'm still missing some trinium. Oh, fine. In the meantime, what I think I'll do is, before I go for the night, 26, so I can start my Quadria. I'll see you in a bit. It's been a little bit, but we do have all the trinium we need. Let's start. Hopefully it will. Yeah, it has. It's just Nakodo. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. So I found these old nether star shards, right? It's a shame I can't convert them directly, actually. Oh my goodness, I have to just... It's a shame it's really hard to convert them directly, but yeah. Down here, change this to nether star shard. There we go. least it's running now. I just realized I ran out of Nakoda. Anyways. oh, and by the way, Nether star looping is delayed yet again. I love this game. Next up, we need to make this, the first part, the high performance computation array. I am still missing Nakoda. Hold on. Let's build the HPCA first. Although I have these already. Yeah, that's trinium coils. That took quite a bit of waiting, but we have it now. I'll deal with this later. And here we will prepare the data stick for our research station. This one giant multi-block, which if I remember correctly, yes, also needs an object holder. I forgot about the data reception and transmission hatches. Okay. Yeah, pretty much all that I have. All I have left is the object holder and the reception and transmission hatches. There is the research station. Now I need to grab some data modules. How about I grab a stack? Yeah, I never actually came prepared for this, but here I am. Just making all of these ad hoc. Also made the HPC. I accidentally made it off camera. God damn. Anyway, let me just show you what it does. That's it. 16 CWUs per tick. I think it's short for computation work units, but either way, max is UV. I am providing LUV. Not sure how this will work. I guess we'll wait and see. But first, let me grab, fittingly enough, an LUV energy hatch to scan. I'll see you in a bit. It is time for research, and what it does. You have your data orb and the thing you want to research, and there it is. I'll just speed it up for you, so you don't have to suffer through the pain that is this. And that's it. CPM energy hatch. Time to replenish this with another data orb, because you can only hold one. And I think while we're doing that, we can probably research the advanced data access hatch. Or do I not? Or is it not enough? I forgot you research a data bank. Never mind. I'll come back to that. Now that I have encoded the energy hatch recipe, time to test it. And then it's havoc time. Let's request 4. Everything seems to be in line. Let's start. So it does work. That is ZPM complete. And I haven't even touched its superconductor Prismalium. That will be touched later. But I think the rest of this video is probably just going to be me doing crystal circuits, then the chem plant, then the ultimate parallel control hatch, and then finally we can tear down all of these cube machines that we made at the very start of our Star Technology adventure, because parallel control hatches at this tier will make the Graphicality multiblocks surpass these CubeJS multiblocks. I am tired though, and I do have IRL stuff to do, so I'll leave it here for the day. It's time to make some crystal processor circuits. Okay, everything seems to be in order. Alright, next up, crystal processor assemblies, which should only take the stack. Am I right? Yeah, okay, let's go. Now this comes the fun part. I'm making a stack and one crystal processor supercomputer. You know what we must do. And that will store the data for this. Our first UV circuit. The final step in this entire chain is obviously to make 64 crystal processor mainframes. Our only UV circuit. For now. Let's start. I had to upgrade my wooden barrels into this new multi-block, the industrial barrel, because I don't know how wooden barrels work anymore. Anyways, you can toggle their two modes, aqueous and magmatic mode. I will probably upgrade this one to magmatic right after this, but yeah. I only wanted to stop over to say, this is the first multi-block that I will place the ultimate parallel control hatch on. Does it not accept the parallel control hatch? Oh, it doesn't. Oh. Never mind, I can use this for something else then. So I have the chemical plant. It's set to, it now has two modes, chemical line reduction and advanced chemical synthesis. I will not be touching advanced chemical synthesis for, I think, the next 3 episodes. Maybe, so yeah. This is the only thing I'll be doing now. I can't build it on camera because whenever I enter this area, my FPS deterministically drops to below 60, so that's just how it is. I'll build it off stream, I'll build it off cam, and I'll show you when I'm done. As you see before me are 5 different chemical plants. I went a bit ham off camera, but yeah. That's a plant line. This is for PBI. PTFE, I have no idea why this is lagging, okay. Then these two are extras. One is for the PTFE itself. This is tetrafluoroethylene, I'll explain why I keep it this way in a future video. And epoxy, I don't know why it's Z-fighting. Anyways, I have in my hand a rock sifter, as you can see. And yes, I have torn down my old rock filtrator. And if I go over here, I have carved out the space for it. I've actually emptied a lot of stuff ever since the lines were torn down. Yeah. I will set this up off camera because despite the 60 FPS that I'm getting now, OBS will still lag, so I'll come back to you when I'm done. The two hunking towers. The large sieve cobbleworks are simply to supply the rock sifter controller, but I had to pause them because 16 parallels is way too much for my MV cutters. And I think that's what I will be doing next. Upgrading this entire system to run on the Graphicality multiblocks. Although I will say, I have gathered some of the materials. And yes, I have gathered large sieves because I want to incorporate them in this entire build. Maybe I could build this into it as well, I don't know. But, I'll consider that. But yeah, that's that complete. I can rest for the night. Can no doubt guess. This is post-edit. It's me here. Can no doubt up here. Yeah, I chose this spot to do an outro mainly because, well, a lot of the base has changed quite a lot, and I have forgotten to record a lot of stuff. So I will address all of it at the end of this video. So I guess stay tuned. You can see one of the upgrades down there. So have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, there are other creators that have uploaded more Greg videos. I'm currently watching Hecuba, so I don't know. Take care and peace.